I want to do a tutorial for you guys. This is going to be on SpinRewriter. It is our web-based spinning tool that I will be giving you access to if you become my employee. A SpinRewriter is a very powerful spinning tool. It's one of the most accurate spinning tools out there. I like using it a lot better than some of the other guys out there. And you know, if you have the right settings, it can actually make your life easier. But just like any spinner, I can't stress this enough. If you give the spinner an article and you say, here, spin the article, and then no matter what that output is, you start using that and submit it as a final version, it's going to be horrible. It's not going to look good. It takes time to spin a good article. You have to go through everything line by line and make sure everything makes sense. But SpinRewriter can take a 48-hour job and turn it into a 6 or 7-hour job. Okay, so it's an invaluable tool. So you would sign into SpinRewriter. This is the screen that pops up. And then what we want to do is go to Rewrite. And here are the settings. You see, this is where you paste the original text. And then there's a few settings out here that you can select or not select. And I'll tell you which one of the settings that I always go with and the ones that work best for me. So what I did is I pasted the article into SpinRewriter. I'm just going to break it out into paragraphs. For this one, SpinRewriter is going to spin the words and spin some phrases too, depending on what's in its what it has inside its database. So this article is, I've learned this week that finding the perfect professional to clean my carpets in this busy Texan city takes more than the casual leafing of the yellow pages or browsing through the internet websites. And there are actually basic reminders that one must keep in mind, and it goes on and on. Typically, what I do for the settings is I might just select nothing at all. This is always on no. I always keep this on no. And I don't select any of these options at the moment because I find that the spinning is more, there's less errors in it and less edits you have to do when nothing is selected. So then once you have it pasted and you have nothing selected, just click the rewrite button and it'll start. And depending on how long the article is, it may take a long time or it may be quick. But what it's doing right now is that it's analyzing every single word and it's checking its database to see if it has any synonyms that are appropriate for the word. It also looks at phrases too. So it might underline an entire phrase. So here's what we have. Everything in green is something that SpinRewriter thinks that it has a synonym for. If it's underlined, it means that SpinRewriter thinks it has a phrase for that word. And if you look down here, you see that SpinRewriter is going to basically find a substitution for 95% of the words here. But you're not done now. Now you have to actually tell SpinRewriter to spin what it thinks it can spin. So to do that, we click on one-click rewrite, and we set our options. It can usually be either low risk or medium readability. It depends on kind of how much time you're going to put into doing the actual spin. You know, unfortunately, you probably get some of the best accuracy when you do low risk, high readability, but you don't get a lot of synonym replacements. It only replaces stuff that it's very sure of. Typically, what I do in cases like this where there's no spinning whatsoever, I usually go with the middle option. So let's do that for purposes. If it's you and you're doing a job for me, typically you wouldn't be using SpinRewriter at this stage anyway. So when it was your turn to use SpinRewriter, and you already have sentence spun articles, which I teach you how to do in another video, you will probably be using this setting. Okay, but for now, let's go with this setting. Keep this checked. This is unchecked, and then start the rewrite process. Now, if you go up, you see that SpinRewriter is just going line by line, and it's spinning everything word by word, and it's going to work its way all the way down. And then I'm just going to pause it and then come back when it's done. Okay, so that took about 4 minutes actually to spin the whole thing. And look at all these brackets and closed brackets. This is what SpinRewriter did. It goes to the entire thing, spins the document. And then from here, we have to edit the document. Because let me show you what this will look like and what it'll read like if it's not edited. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to the final step. This is not what you would do, but for the purposes of showing you what not to do, here we go. Let me pause this again. Actually, no, it was quick this time. So here is the output spin text. Let's generate a unique version. Now let's see how well it reads. Okay, I just pasted the output into a Word document to make it easier to read. Carpet cleansing Houston, on the best ways to avoid the awful deals. I've known today that finding the best professional to clean my carpetings in this active Texan city takes more compared to the laid-back leafing of the yellow pages or checking out the internet sites. There are really basic suggestions that one have to remember when picking which carpet cleansing Houston business to hire if you prefer to steer clear of a disastrous outcome. Read, my initial bargain was a nerve-wracking day entailing a phony firm from a bad solution, a clueless, unskilled technician, and a lot and more compared to $100 being paid for a service I could have done better myself. Unquestionably, I'm partly at fault. Blah blah blah. But after that, the error had been made, and my carpets and carpets are still in alarming requirement of vacuuming. Alarming requirement. See, some of these things, they just don't read well. Overall, this actually turned out pretty well, which is good, and that's why I like SpinRewriter. But you know, we still have to go through this, and we still need to make sure that things look good. And on top of that, we can actually add more synonyms as time goes on. Now, this says it's 98% unique, but it really isn't. Let me show you what the actual uniqueness is. Okay, so there's a tool I use to compare actual true uniqueness. Now this says 97%, but it doesn't mean anything. Now what I do is I take one of these articles, I copy it, I paste it into this is called Article Rewrite Assistant, another cool program. And then I take another spin, copy it, put it into the other side, and then what this program does is just compare the two articles. So these two spins are actually only 38.6% unique. Let's try another spin. These guys 38.3% unique. So as you can see, just doing word level spinning at the standard settings and then just letting SpinRewriter do the spinning on its own only gets you 38% unique results. The way we actually do like a full article spinning is we end up with uniqueness values anywhere from 87 to 92% when compared here. So just keep that in mind when you're using SpinRewriter. It's a tool, but just on its own, it's not good enough. You know, this does word spinning, this does a little bit of phrase spinning, but you still need to do sentence level spinning. That's where you get the most uniqueness from, by respinning sentences and then spinning those words. Which of course, like I said, you learn in another article. So let's go back to step 2. Let me show you what you should have done. First, and always. So here we have carpet cleaning. Whenever you want to select a word to edit, you just double click the word, and then a list of synonyms pops up here. And then whichever ones you want SpinRewriter to include in the brackets, you would just click on. So carpeting is fine. Carpet and rugs is fine. Rugs, rug is good. Carpet or rug, that's good too. Rugs and carpets, that's good. I don't like to use mat. Carpets and rugs, that's good. Matting, no. Blanket, no. Ground, no. Covering, no. Floor, throw rug. Throw rug works too. So suddenly look how many words we have, how much variability we have. So for cleaning, let me show you one more thing actually. So you did this, you clicked on carpeting. So you see these letters up here, that's a T, A, R, in case you can't tell. The T stands for select only the top synonyms. The A stands for select all synonyms. And the R stands for replace all occurrences of this word. Typically I never use T and A. But when it comes to a word that I edit and I plan on using the same synonyms for every time the word occurs, I'll click on the R and replace all. And you'll see what SpinRewriter does. Right now it's working to replace every single one. That's going to take a little bit of time, and then once it's done, you don't have to worry about the word carpets anymore. Let me pause while that happens. Okay, so you see carpet here, you see carpets, carpeting, carpet rug cleaning. You see it over here. You see carpet, rug here. And we do the same thing for cleaning. Different synonyms for cleaning. That also makes sense. So carpet cleansing, that sort of makes sense. I think carpet cleanup also makes sense. Carpet maintenance, that's okay. I don't really like the word carpet washing. I wouldn't use that. Carpet purifying, not really. Carpet brushing, no. Carpet sanitizing, I think that works. Carpet scrubbing, that one's okay. That one's okay. I guess we could use that. Carpet cleaning, carpet purification, sweeping, refreshing. I like carpet restoring. That's a good one. Carpet house clean, domestic cleaning. Okay, so I've went through a few. I'm going to replace them all again. And how exactly see, now this is called nested level spinning, where SpinRewriter spun the entire phrase, but it also spun just the word. So the entire phrase is how to, right here, the two green words. It says how to. And then different synonyms for that is ways to and the best ways to, which makes perfect sense. That's a good spin. But it also, in the first how, it went ahead and changed the how to exactly how. So not only would ways to and the best ways to spit out, but sometimes how to would spit out, and other times exactly how would spit out. That's what you call nested spinning. It's actually doing a spin within a spin. And that's something that happens fairly often when you get into advanced spinning. So I've actually discovered this week, today. For this week, I would probably do stuff like, you can add some words here. So I would do recently. I discovered this week, today, recently. Just yesterday. Now, it doesn't have to be a synonym exactly for the word this week. It has to be a synonym for the meaning that we're trying to avoid, that we're trying to create with the document. We want to create as many ways of saying the same general basis as we can. And finding, discovering, enjoying, locating, the perfect, ideal, awesome, excellent, best, professional. For professional, I would do, I would add pro. No, so there's two different definitions here. So you see for professional, it gives you the option of choosing either an expert, which is an adjective, or the noun form of it, which is a person that's exactly trained to do this job, we actually would go to the noun form of it. And here we can select expert, specialist, pro, contractor. Power, yeah, so those three. And I would actually replace all. So all occurrences are now replaced. For clean, I would do to maintain. It's a good one. Vacuum in this context is a good one. That's good. Anytime you can come up with anywhere between 3 to 4 or more synonyms for each word, I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. See, there's 2 here, so you could do nonchalant is a good one. Obviously, if you have it open and some more makes sense, then just go ahead and use some more. I would add lazy as well. And then let me teach you one more thing. If you highlight a phrase, you can spin that entire phrase. Like for example, let me find the phrase. So here's a phrase, just that one, right? If you select the entire word, SpinRewriter will give you options to replace the entire word. So you have reminders that one must follow. So that here is not correct because this is trying to say that these are basics that one must follow. So saying that basics that must keep in mind or bear in mind, that wouldn't make good English sense. So I would unclick on that, and I could change that to reminders that one should, one can. So stuff like that would work pretty well. That's a basic summary. I think I think that's a good introduction, and let's go from there.